The story of Saint Rita of Cascia.
Subscribe to our channel to receive more content like this.
This is the story of a woman who longed for peace in a world full of pain. Her name was Rita, Saint Rita of Cascia. She was born in the year 1381 in a small Italian village called Rocca Perenna. From the very beginning, Rita had a quiet soul. As a child, she loved going to church, praying, and dreaming of one day becoming a nun. But life didn't go the way she expected. Rita's parents were kind and faithful people, but they were also getting older. They had one wish before they passed. They wanted to see their daughter married, and back then, it was expected. So, Rita, always obedient and respectful, agreed. She married a man named Paolo Mancini. He was a soldier, and while he wasn't a bad man, he had a fiery temper and lived in a world shaped by violence and revenge. For many years, Rita lived in a storm of harsh words and tension. But she didn't fight back. She prayed. She loved. She waited. And slowly, very slowly, Paolo began to change. Through Rita's patience, kindness, and faith, her husband softened. He became more peaceful, more gentle. Their home, once filled with shouting, began to echo with calm. But peace didn't last long. One day, Paolo was murdered, caught in the middle of a long-standing feud between rival families. Rita was crushed. She'd worked so hard for peace, and now she was left a widow. Worse still, her two sons, teenagers at the time, wanted revenge. Rita begged them, "Don't continue this cycle of hate. Let it end with us." But the anger in their hearts was too strong. So Rita did something unimaginable. She prayed not for revenge, not even for justice, but for something bold. "Lord," she said, "I'd rather see my sons die than become murderers." Soon after, both boys fell ill. They passed away within the year. It sounds tragic, and it was. But Rita believed this was God's way of saving their souls. Her family was gone. But her mission for peace, it was only just beginning. Now, with nothing left tying her to the world, Rita returned to her childhood dream. She wanted to enter the convent and live a life of prayer. But the nuns turned her away. They feared the violence connected to her husband's murder. The feuding families still held grudges. They didn't want trouble. So Rita prayed for something even more impossible. "God, make peace where there is none. Make a way when there is no way." And then it happened. Through Rita's relentless efforts, the impossible came true. The families forgave each other. The feud ended. Only then did the convent open its doors. Rita was finally welcomed in. Inside the convent, Rita lived quietly and faithfully. She served, prayed, and loved with the same gentle strength she'd shown all her life. But one day, while praying before a crucifix, something strange happened. A sharp pain struck her forehead. A wound appeared, like a thorn from Christ's crown. She believed it was a gift, a way to share in Jesus' suffering. The wound never healed. It stayed with her for the rest of her life. For 15 years, Rita bore that pain, yet she never complained. She united her suffering with Christ's. Her prayers, her patience, her deep, quiet faith. These were her weapons. Not anger, not revenge. As she grew older, she became ill. Near the end, a visitor asked if there was anything she wanted. Rita asked for a rose from her family's old garden, but it was winter. There were no flowers. Miraculously, one was found, blooming in the snow. A sign of hope, a sign of peace. Rita passed away in 1457, but her story didn't end there. Today, people around the world pray to Saint Rita, the saint of the impossible. They ask for her help when things seem too hard, too broken, too far gone. Because if anyone knew how to find peace in the middle of pain, it was her. Saint Rita's life reminds us that even in a world filled with loss and hate, love, patience, and forgiveness are never wasted. They may not change everything overnight, but they can change hearts. And in the end, that's where real peace begins.